Hi, everyone. It's really lovely to be here. I just thought I'd come on and let you know a little bit about Jitsu before I actually get started with it, because some people seem to think that it's an active thing like Jujutsu, I think it is, which is a form of martial arts. To begin with, it's actually the art of helping yourself and getting to know yourself and that kind of thing. Hi, Jody. How are you? Hi, Marie. Okay, so I'm streaming through Zoom. I've never done this before, so I hope all goes well. And if there's any lag or difficulty in hearing me, please let me know. So basically, what Jitsu is, it's the art of getting to know yourself. It's the art of awareness of myself, the technique of myself, and also the art of happiness, the art of longevity, the art of benevolence. So it's a full scope of taking care of your body and getting to know who you are and raising your awareness of who you are. So it allows you to be present in the moment. And what I thought that I would do with you for the first time is maybe just go through some relaxation. So if you are in a space where you can relax, and I hope you are because it is Sunday afternoon, put on some soft music. I can put on some music for you as well, but I don't know how that's going to work through so that my voice doesn't get trapped inside the sound. So if you're able to put some soft music on, or maybe just relax and listen to the sound of my voice, that can work too. We can do that. But I'm just going to switch very quickly so that I can tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Rachma Abader. I'm from Mind Body Wellness, and I basically love helping people meet their goals. The modalities that I use to help people meet their goals is with NLP, with Jitsu, and of course, certified life coaching as well. So one of the things I wanted to work on today was the lung area, because we're in this COVID-19 thing. I wanted to work on the lung area so that, can you actually see the difference in my screen? Has my slide changed for you? Because, okay, it has changed for me now. Okay, so there is a slight lag. So what I'm going to do first is just a little bit of an exercise. I'm going to stop my share so that you can see me completely. Hi, Carol. How are you? I'm just going to make that a little smaller so I can see everyone. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've made a few notes. I'm just going to go through that with you guys and cover what Jitsu is all about. So as I was saying before, if you can just find yourself in a nice, relaxing space, if you wanted to add some music to that, it would be really lovely and beneficial for you. So Jitsu is about awareness of myself. So awareness of yourself. It is the understanding of myself, and it is also the technique of myself. So within Jitsu, it's a series of, we'll do an exercise with it where we will actually place our hands on our body and stimulate what we call our safety energy locks, so that you can have a sense of well-being. Is it frozen on everybody else's end? If it is, then I will just turn off the screen share altogether. Let me know if we are frozen, guys, just in case my computer is just going on and you can't hear me. Okay. So it is the art of happiness, the art of longevity, and the art of benevolence. It allows you to be really present wherever you are. And the truth is that within each and every one of us, there lies a really, really strong power and ability to change whatever we want to at every given moment. And what Jitsu allows you to do is to actually connect with that oneness. So for all of us that are on here, I can see 10 people online with us right now. So if we can just connect with each other and believe that as people come and go, on this particular live, that connection will be so strong and the energy that we put out there will be so strong that they will feel that connectivity in this and the magnetic force that intention of connectivity can bring to somebody. So one of the things I want you to do now is, hey, Rianda, can you hear me, hun? Because Carol just, okay, it's fine again. All right, it's all good. So one of the things that we're going to do now is for you to just relax and drop your shoulders. Like, become aware of the fact that your shoulders might be up against your ears, and just totally relax and drop your shoulders and just be in that moment. Be you in that moment. Just drop your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in and just breathe out and relax. Okay, so now I want you to smile. Put a big, big smile on your face. And as you put this massive smile on your face, I just want you to bow your head. And as you bow your head, I want you to feel how limitless and weightless you feel. And just let go. Now taking a nice deep breath in. As you inhale, I want you to inhale fun. Fun meaning you're inhaling fulfillment. Take a nice deep breath in and just inhale fulfillment. Now breathe out. And as you breathe in again, I want you to breathe in understanding of yourself. That's the you in fun. Breathing in some understanding. And then just breathe out and relax. Now, as you breathe in again, I want you to breathe in no thing, nothing. Just breathing in and allowing yourself to be. Now, this time we're going to focus on our exhale. And in the exhale, we are going to focus on breathing out the fear. That is the false evidence appearing real. So as we breathe out this time, I want you to become aware of breathing out anything that you feel holds you back, anything that you're afraid of, that you worry about, that stops you from doing the things that are important, like the things that are going on around the world right now. Just breathe that out and allow yourself to be, just breathing it out and totally relaxing into you and your space. Breathing out and just unloading. So now as you breathe in the fun again, that fulfillment, that understanding, and that nothingness, I want you to exhale this time and breathe out the fear, the false evidence appearing real. Breathe it all out and just really come into your space in the here and the now. Now I want you to do is to completely allow yourself to just let go. Continuing your journey on letting go of everything and all the things that are going on around you and around in the world, all around the globe. I want you to just let go of that, focusing on 36 divine breaths. Now for the next few minutes, we're just going to breathe in. And as we breathe in, keeping in mind that we're breathing in the fun, knowing that fun stands for that complete life fulfillment and understanding of yourself and acceptance of yourself, and just absolutely no thing, nothingness. And as we breathe out, we'll be breathing out the fear. So just keep on breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And just really allowing yourself to let go. So breathing in and breathing out, guys. I know that there's a lag at the moment, but I just want you to continue breathing in and breathing out as we go on. Just one more minute of breathing in the fun, the fulfillment, the love, the self-acceptance, breathing in the understanding of yourself, breathing in absolutely nothing, and then just letting go of the false evidence appearing real. So when we focus on our breath and we breathe in really deeply, breathing all the way in, and then breathing out through your mouth all the way out, what happens is that actually stimulates our body's natural response to heal itself, because our bodies are so amazing. It actually knows what it needs to do in order to heal itself. Now, as you are letting go with all of these things that do not serve you in these breaths, I want you to really think about something that you're truly, truly grateful for. Whatever that is, whether it is the birth of your children, the love of your life, the roof over your head, to really connect an emotion with the gratitude that you feel for that person, that thing, or that situation. Whatever it is for you, I want you to really heighten that emotion that you feel of gratitude. And then as you feel that emotion of gratitude, I want you from your limitless self, from that innate part of you, I want you to continue to fill yourself with the fun, continue to fill yourself with the fulfillment and the understanding and the knowing. Continue to fill yourself with that. And as you're completed filling yourself with that, I want you to put a nice big smile on your face. And then let me know 3 things that you are grateful for. For me, I am grateful for being here on this live to serve you today. I'm grateful for the art of Jyutsu, and I'm grateful for having the opportunity to make this work so that I can actually be here. So I'd really love for you to put into the comments 3 things that you are grateful for so we can move on to the next part of this. And tell me a little bit about how you've spent your day and how that was for you as well. I'd love to hear from you. There's a bit of a lag, so I hope that my connection to you is good. I'm just going to check my phone and see if everything is going okay in the group. Hello, hi Shannon, how are you? Grateful for the session, Marie, how are you? Seeing your brother today, my new garden, that's really, really awesome. Being healthy, yes, our health is such an important thing for us now. Hi, Julian. Not on Zoom, so no lag. Awesome. I've actually, the reason why I went on Zoom today is because I wanted to share with you the slides so that you knew what you were doing and which finger you were holding just in case something went wrong. And also if you wanted to take this away with you, because the beautiful art of Jyutsu is that it is for everybody and you can take that away with you, and share it with your friends and your family, that kind of thing, and use it anytime you want to. So what we're going to do for the next few minutes is I'm going to introduce you to your fingers in a different way. And what we're going to do is we're just going to work on all of our fingers on both hands. And what I want you to do is wherever you are right now, I want you to jump up and stand on your feet. So get up and standing on your feet. I want you to just feel the earth beneath your feet, right? Feel the earth and the ground beneath your feet. And I want you to close your eyes if you need to take stock of where you are right now. and feel what your feet feel like underneath. Is one heavier than the other? Are you grounded and you can feel both of your feet nice and equal on the ground? Then, when you become aware of where your feet are, I want you to then think about your hip area and think about whether you're feeling balanced in your hip area. Which is there a side of your body that feels heavier than the other? Then bring your awareness up into your shoulder region and think about how you're feeling in your back and your shoulders, and just give it a little bit of a shake and feel what you're feeling inside that area of your body. And then think about your head. Are you up in the clouds? Are you present? How are you feeling in yourself in general? Are you feeling tense? Are you feeling, just take stock. Grateful for a relaxing day. Awesome. Beautiful. I love the gratitudes, guys. Thank you so much for sharing them with me. So now, as you've taken stock of what you're feeling in your body, I want you then to have a seat again. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold on to our thumbs. And while we're holding on to our thumbs, we're going to focus on our breath. If you wanted to, I should have put a link in so that you could have jumped into Zoom and spoken to me if you needed to. That's next time we will do that. That way I can hear from you and know what your experience is. But holding on to your thumbs in a very loving, caressing manner, I want you to take a nice deep breath in. And what our thumbs are, the organ that is inside of our thumb that can help if you have stomach problems, it can actually support you in your stomach and in your spleen area. So just holding on to that area and then just taking a nice deep breath in. And we'll do it for 3 breaths, in and out. Holding on to your thumb for anybody that's just joined us now. We're holding on to our thumbs, breathing in, and then breathing out. So what will happen is, as you're holding on very gently and very lovingly on your thumb, what you'll feel is that your pulse will come into the palm of your hand. And as you feel the pulse come into your palm of your hand, just take a nice deep breath in and let go of worry, because this is the kind of emotion and attitude that we hold in our spleen and in our stomach area is worry. So when we're worried, we have digestive problems and that kind of thing, lots of other problems as well. But this is, if you're having issues in your stomach, the emotion or the attitude that is in the back of your subconscious is actually worry. So take a nice deep breath in again and just let go of the worry. Next, we're going to hold on to our index finger. In the same way, very lovingly and very caressingly, we're going to hold on to our index finger. And we're going to take a really nice deep breath in. And as we let go of that, we're just going to breathe out and just allow ourselves to let go. And we're going to let go of fear, because the attitude of fear is held within our kidneys and in our bladder. So if you're having bladder issues and kidney issues, according to the art of Jyutsu, you need to work on letting go of the attitude of fear. Okay, that false evidence appearing real, just breathing that in and just really, really letting go of it. Allowing yourself just to be in this moment, letting go of that. And as you feel the pulse coming into your palm of your hand from your finger, which you lovingly hold, I want you to continue your breaths, breathing in that fun, that fulfillment, that understanding, and the noting, and allowing yourself to just let go, intentionally letting go with your breath out of fear, false evidence appearing real. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to our middle finger, and our middle finger, which interestingly enough, this is the finger that we can use to harmonize the emotion or the attitude. Emotions are referred mainly as attitude in the art of Jitsu. So we can let go of anger. So this is the same finger that we use to give the birdie. And this is the finger that we let go of anger. Okay. So it's interesting that our anger is held in that finger, and that's how it's expressed sometimes when we are angry. So allowing yourself to breathe in and really letting go of anger. Keeping in mind that if you're having pains or discomforts in the right upper quadrant of your abdomen, this is the area, this particular finger, your middle finger. This one here, we have our liver and our gallbladder. So when we're having liver and gallbladder issues, we really need to check in with ourselves. So as you're beginning to see, I hope you're beginning to see that the art of Jitsu is the art that it allows you to really go into you. It's about reflection and self-improvement and personal development. And there's so much of it, that you can use to enhance your life and the lives of other people. So just continue focusing on your breath, breathing in nice and deeply, and letting go of anything that makes you angry, just allowing yourself, even this situation, it can bring on so much internal anger because we feel so stuck in where we are, not allowed to do this, not allowed to do that. Just allowing yourself to let go and really think about being intentional about letting go of the anger. Letting go of the anger and just releasing. And as you see yourself letting go of the anger, I want you to imagine that with your next breath, just breathing in that health and wellness into the liver and gallbladder area. Just breathing in and breathing in that health and wellness into your liver and your gallbladder area. So as you begin to feel the heartbeat in your hands of your middle finger, if you're not feeling the heartbeat, it's okay. You can always come back and do this again and do it for longer. So what we focus on in Jyutsu is not the disharmony, but the harmony in our lives. So we're always looking for what is there rather than what isn't there. Okay, so moving on to your ring finger, which we're going to spend a little bit more time with this particular finger today. Because in this finger, we actually harness the emotions of sadness and of grief. And this is our lung area, and it's specific to what is happening in this world at the moment. So don't even allow it for a moment to let you feel sad where you are or to let you grieve for the things that you cannot do. But perhaps allow it to see that all the things that we couldn't do, that we didn't have time for, because of our busy lives and having to go to work and having to run around to this social event and that social event and all the things that we've said we don't have time for. This is our time now to really tackle those things and make the most of our time that we have here, to go deep within ourselves and really get to know who we are. And that is the blessing of where we are today. That is the blessing of this situation, this global situation. It has allowed so many people to unite, not only within their neighborhoods, but even families through technology and people through global events that have been occurring around the world, just like this one. So we just let go of that sadness and grief because it's just a matter of how you perceive life is. The connectivity and the connection and the oneness that we are all experiencing in the world today is nothing like we've ever known. It's nothing like we've ever known. And that's something to be grateful for, really grateful for. So many people I know are achieving so many things that they hadn't had time for and making a difference in their lives in the smallest ways. And I don't even think they know how big those differences are yet. But I think by the time this is all past, I'm hoping that we will remain connected, and remain united in that oneness. So this area is our lung as well as our large intestine. So when you think about our lungs, we're focusing a little bit more on this finger. And our large intestines, this is where we digest things. So the sadness and the grief also affects us when we are in our stomach. So not only does it affect us and it can cause us to have coughs and colds and different issues within the lung or the chest area, but when we're not happy and we're sad and we're grieving, it actually affects the way our large intestine works inside of our body. So we're harmonizing the sadness and the grief within this area of us right now. Okay, taking a nice deep breath in, we're going to move on to our little finger. And just allowing yourself to let go. So as you move on to your little finger, just lovingly caress it. And hold on to your little finger. Breathing in. And this is for our heart and our small intestine. So this takes care of or supports our heart function and the function of our small intestine. So with this here, I want you to really breathe in. If you're the kind of person that's a perfectionist, that's always wanting things to be perfect, bending over backwards for everybody, and really putting yourself last, I want you to breathe in and appreciate who you are through this finger. Just for a moment, allowing yourself to really be grateful for who you are. Breathing in. And really appreciating you for all the things that you criticize yourself for. Appreciate yourself for being the person that cares too much, for being the person that tries too hard, because that means you're a pretty damn amazing person. So love you for who you are. Take a nice deep breath in. And then just breathe out again. Take a nice deep breath in again. And just breathing out. And just appreciating yourself for a moment. So as you begin to feel the heartbeat in this little finger, I want you then to move onto the palm of your hand and just place your hand into the palm of your hand. And this is basically your balance and your harmonizer. This harmonizes your body. And while we harmonize our bodies, I just want to let you know that what Jinsen Jyutsu is we have 26 energy centers. So each of them on different areas of our body. And the way I like to say it really isn't a fair explanation of what it is, but it's a mixture between Reiki and acupressure and a little bit of acupuncture. But it crosses through the meridians of your body and the different organs and things like that. So I would generally have my hands on different areas of your body, and that's how I would provide healing to your body through the touch of Jinsen Jyutsu. But what I've shown you now is something that you can do for yourself, and you can do it anywhere. No matter where you're sitting, you can do it. So what I'm going to get you to do now is, after you feel the pulse in your palm of your hand through your fingers, I want you to then stand up again. And remember how we took stock of our bodies a moment ago, and we decided to feel what it felt like underneath our feet. I want you to go back to where you were in that moment and just feel what is different. And when you have got that, I want you to come back to me, and just in the comments, I want you to tell me, what do you feel different in your body? What are you feeling different in your body right now? What have you been able to let go of in these last few minutes? What have you been able to let go of in these last few minutes? Okay. Feeling a little bit more relaxed. So one side of your body might actually feel different to the other side. So one side might feel more relaxed, or sometimes, depending on how connected you allowed yourself to be, you could feel that relaxation on both sides of your body. So now we've done one hand together. So what you can go and do when you are doing that is go and do the other side of your body. And that way you can have the benefit, the full benefit of both sides. Okay. So what we're going to do now is there's an area just under or behind your armpit. You can't see it very well, but just over here, there's an area here. This is number 26. I want you to give yourself a hug, touching both sides with your hands. Give yourself a hug. And allow yourself to just feel the calm. So what I want you to do is to intentionally actually take your attention to that area and focus on that area. And allow yourself to feel whatever it is you feel and to notice whatever it is that you can notice. Breathing in and out. So this is what we call in Jyutsu, give yourself a hug. Because if you hold yourself in this space, and the reason why I wanted to do this one for a little bit was to allow yourself to give yourself a hug, because one of the things that a lot of us haven't been able to do or have that lives on our own, or feel a little bit isolated right now, is to experience what it feels like to have a hug. And when you touch this area on both sides, if you can't reach, it's okay. Jyutsu also works with intention. So intending to touch that area, just allowing yourself to relax into that space, you actually get to feel as though you've had a hug. You get to have the same endorphins that you have running through you when somebody hugs you. You actually allow yourself to feel that same feeling inside. So what you can do when things are feeling a little bit too much and it feels chaotic, even within the isolation, sometimes things can feel chaotic. Just sit with yourself and put your hands in this space and relax. Now, there are so many different routines and finger holes and different flows that we call flows. There are over 100 flows in Jyutsu, which can basically support your health, mind, your body, and your soul in different ways. If I have the opportunity again, I would love to share some more of that with you in the future. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know, and I will do more Jyutsu with you to help you through this time. Otherwise, we can do a little bit of other things as well that are more mindset focused, which is away from Jyutsu, and have some conversations surrounding mindset and how to change your mindset and build a mindset of transformation or empowerment. And when you're ready to let go of that, you can go ahead and let go of that. But what we'll do now, very quickly, as I promised, is I will show you this so that you can see it and you can take it with you. Take a screenshot. Oh, it will be here for you anyway. So you'll see it again. I'm going to share my screen and I just want you to see the finger that we're going to focus on now again. All right. And this is really allowing to get rid of grief and sadness and focusing on the negative, letting go of the negative emotions, because these emotions actually create mucus forming in our lung area, okay? And it makes us not think properly and not use our common sense. When we are in a state of sadness and grief, we don't actually use the best part of ourselves. So what this does is it enables us to always use the better part of ourselves. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the right thumb and wrap our fingers, around the left thumb, okay? Wrap the right thumb and fingers around the left thumb. So wrapping it like this. So I've done this slide for you so that if you wanted to take it away and have a look and come back to it anytime you want to, you're welcome to use this. And then just taking nice 3 deep breaths in, breathing out of the mouth, letting go of sadness and grief, breathing in again. Breathing out. And one more time, breathing in. And breathing out. So of course, we're spending very little time on each finger, but this is just to give you an idea so that when you go away and you have time and you're laying in bed and you're having a sleepless night, because this actually helps with insomnia, it helps with neck issues, breathing issues. Some of the things that it helps with is listed on the side there, but it's not everything that it supports. Okay. Now moving to your index finger. Moving to your index finger, that's your index finger. And as you continue to breathe in and out, and you feel that pulse coming into your index finger, then move on to the middle finger. Okay, our angry finger. This is where we hold our anger. Focusing in on your breath. So Louise Hayes tells us that our lungs are about breathing life into us and life out of us. So focus on breathing it in and the joy of life, breathe it into you. And everything that doesn't serve life, breathe that out of you. Then moving in on the ring finger, going onto your ring finger in the same way. So we're not squeezing, we're just gently, lovingly holding our fingers. And then when you're finished with that, take a nice deep breath in, and then you would repeat that on the other side. So how was that for you guys? Let's have a little bit of a chat inside the comments. We have a few minutes left that we can talk about. Sometimes when people do these little exercises, these are what we call quickies in the world of Jyutsu, taking care of your body in a shortcut way. So these are all the little shortcuts. But then of course there are sequences that take longer. So basic session of Jyutsu where you have a sequence of maybe 8 to 10, sometimes depending on the flow and the function of the body that we're looking at, the area that we're looking at, the sequences can go up as far as I think 22 steps or more than that. So it's very different when you're doing a one-on-one session with somebody. You get to lay on the table and relax while I take care of you and do something like that. So if you know anybody that actually is a Jitsu practitioner and is able to do this for you, it can be done remotely as well as in person. So it's not just something that you have to be in the same space, in room with somebody. It can actually work in a remote way. So yeah, lots of different ways that you can work with Jitsu. So Marie, you're still feeling, how are you still, if you're still there, which part, like when you say that mindset would be good, what specifically would you like to address in mindset, whether we do that in one of my other modalities or whether we do that in Jitsu? Let me know. I would really love to hear from you guys. See what you thought and how was your day and what are the areas that you found that you're really enjoying? Like, what are you really enjoying about isolation right now? Let me tell you. So, what am I enjoying about isolation? So, I'm a bit of an introvert. I used to be quite an extrovert back in the day. I used to like going out and enjoying myself and stuff like that. But I've kind of found that as I've grown older, I'm in my 40s now and I have 3 children. My oldest is 18 and just recently turned 18. It was kind of a sad, a sad birthday because she couldn't go anywhere. And then I have another one that's 13, turning 14 very soon. And my youngest is 9 years old as well. So as I've become older, I've actually become more of an introvert, which is really strange because most people know me to be this outgoing person. But as I've worked on myself, and I guess I've had illnesses, struggles along the way, I've actually become more of an introvert. So for me, this is actually how I get my interaction right now, through you. So I'd love to hear from you. This is my extroverted part. Oh, awesome. Retired. So ISO isn't too different for me. Yeah, I have a family member that has said to me that they've been preparing for isolation all of their lives because they themselves are introverts. So, but I'm really fortunate. I'm really fortunate in the sense that I still get the opportunity to go out and work. Although my work has changed a lot, the other part of what I do is I'm a first aid trainer, so I train people in the skill of life saving. And what I miss on that about that is the interaction. So if you can imagine, first aid training is actually a very interpersonal training. You know, if you've ever done a first aid, so you work closely together, you're working with a partner, that kind of thing. So right now, what they've done with it is they've created one session has now become 2 sessions. So I do half my session on Zoom, and I only see 4 people at a time to do pracs, and we're not allowed to touch each other. We're all maintaining our social distance so that we can all stay safe. And that really changes training for me. So isolation is very different. I'm enjoying it on some level, but because I I get my extroverted side through my training and interaction with people in my work, I miss that side of things. So, but it really, honestly, one of the things that I have found is it's really allowed me to, in those moments when I'm not working and I don't have a class book, it allows you to actually check in, like really check in with yourself and maybe do a little bit of work with yourself. And that's what I enjoy about it. So yeah, guys, there are a few of you on here. So I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what it is that you enjoy, mindset to release anxiety and think about things. Absolutely. We've actually got a few minutes here. And you can use the breathing technique as you're holding on. So, anxiety is about worrying about the future. So, maybe while we're sitting here, hold your thumb because that's about worrying. So, because I'm only doing Jinsen Jitsu today. When I do something else, I can focus with a different modality on anxiety. But in terms of Jinsen Jitsu, because anxiety is actually worrying about the future, what we can do is we can focus on holding our thumbs and just breathing in nicely and focusing on your breath and allowing yourself to be in the moment, you know? So think about the space that you're in now and allow yourself to feel where you are right now and the connectivity that we've created between you and I and whoever else is on this live with us right now. And we allow that release of anxiety and worry, you know. So right now, just releasing that anxiety and that worry about things. So Rachel says, being in isolation has given me a lot of time to reflect on things. Yes, absolutely. It's so true. It's like there's nothing else you can do. It's either you're going to do that or be bored out of your mind. So the best thing, it's like the best thing to in this time is to really go inside. And Jinsen Jutsu is an amazing tool to do that with. So whatever you've learned on this session, guys, take it away with you, you know, and just practice it. Like practice it, commit yourself to practicing it for the next 7 days, maybe every day at different periods, maybe two in the morning and the afternoon, or breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and see the difference. Notice the difference that it makes in your body because it's not a quick fix. Like everything, we have to form habits, you know. So there's so many habits that we have. Like for myself, it was so easy for me to jump in the car, go visit a friend, um, that kind of thing. So that habit had to change. So we can't get rid of habits, we just have to change and get a new habit. So the new habit can be looking in and reflecting, you know, being introspective about things and think about what I truly want in my life and what's not really serving me. Awesome. It's actually, you know, one of the things that I found about isolation is it allows us to detox our lives in so many ways. So when you think about life in general, you know, we get to detox our lives. Not only can we focus on eating right and exercising, and like if we think about our minds, you know, we can detox in that way and fill ourselves with good chatter, becoming aware of the self-talk, our internal language that we have with ourselves and all the things that we say that don't serve us, becoming aware of that and changing that language that we have within ourselves to something that's more benefit. So when we say something like, you know, you stump your toe, I know some of us can be very, what's the word, clumsy. I'm a clumsy person, you know, and I remember I used to say things like, hi, Laura. I used to say things like, oh, you're so stupid, you know, when I bump myself back or somewhere like that. You'd say something that is not serving, you know, oh, you're so stupid, oh, you're so clumsy. But now it's just like, oh, bump myself, you know, you just rub the area. You're not stupid because you're clumsy, you're just clumsy. So you've got to learn to embrace that part of yourself. So I guess one of the things what we can do is when we notice the negative self-talk, embrace that side of you because that is the part of you that you're criticizing. It's that part of you that's crying out so loud for you to just love you for the clumsy person that you are, you know, for your silliness. So somebody might say to you, gosh, you're silly, you know. And sometimes when we're not connected with ourselves, we can be insulted by that. We can be easily insulted by something somebody says because we need to go inward and accept the negative thing that we perceive is negative. But silliness can be fun. Silliness can be joyful, you know. So we just need to learn to love both sides of ourselves, the good side and the bad side of ourselves. Because I work at Woolies, I've been shallow breathing all day. Oh, Carol. I hope that this has given you an opportunity to do a little bit of deep breathing. perhaps when you get off here, take a few minutes. It takes roughly about 3 minutes to do 9 breaths in and out, really nice and deep. So really deep all the way into your lungs and then out again, breathing all the way in and out. So if you were to be able to do 36 breaths by the time you went to bed, so that's spending 10 minutes with yourself. So in Jinsen Jutsu, the 36 divine breaths are healing and rejuvenating, and it connects you with your connects you with yourself. So don't shallow breathe. I'm glad that you're aware enough to identify that you're shallow breathing, so that now that you're at home and you're safe, you can breathe in nice and deep and really love yourself and allow yourself to be in the space that you are right now with your gorgeous husband. So breathing, I think shallow breathing, if you think about it like this here. So yes, we can become afraid of breathing when we're out there because we think about things being airborne. But when you look after yourself, like when you think in terms of your mindset and you create yourself a mindset of wellness and longevity and health, you put your focus on in the direction in which you want it to go. As Julian always says, energy goes where your focus is. I don't know how he says it, but he says it, focus goes where energy flows or something like that. But really, really just breathe. Allow yourself to breathe, because when you're shallow breathing, if you think of it like this, you're actually reducing your lung capacity. So when you're at work for a whole day and for all of those hours, you're shallow breathing, you are actually reducing your lung capacity. So it wouldn't be healthy for you. Or if it makes you more comfortable, go out there wearing a mask so that you're, and a good mask at that, and allow yourself to take those deep breaths in and breathe out, but because your body actually deserves that oxygen. So don't deprive yourself of oxygen, because when you're shallow breathing, there's a sense sometimes of unworthiness. So we have to think about ourselves as being worthy. We are being worthy of yourself in your breath. You're worthy of health. You're worthy of goodness. So what was the other question there? Yes, I know you're clumsy. I'm your clumsy partner. It's very normal. I think the more we embrace ourselves, the more loving we can be toward ourselves. And I know you are such a loving person. So absolutely, yeah, it's normal. It's my normal and it's your normal. So it's all good. Rachel, I broke my toe a few months ago, and the things I can imagine. I can imagine what you would have said, because I probably would have done the same thing. But the beauty about that is that you're aware. You're aware of the thing. So one of the things that we do is, like, when you let me just think of the time so I don't go over time. When you think about saying something wrong to yourself or something that's not serving to yourself. So for every one thing, like, you go ahead and you say, oh, you dumb idiot, or whatever it is because you bumped your toe, or, whatever kind of cussing thing you said to yourself, say 5 good things about yourself and remind yourself, I am worthy, I am lovable, I am amazing, an amazing mother if you're a mom, I'm an amazing grandmother, I am an amazing daughter, I am courageous. So say 5 things for every one thing that you can catch yourself saying. Get rid of the negativity by saying 5 good things about yourself. Okay, what about Carol? I will deep breathe at home. Yeah, do that, hon, when you get home, if you're not already there. Deep breathe nicely and just absolutely love yourself. I agree, Rachel. She is a beautiful soul. Even maybe when you take a break, allow yourself to breathe deeply, allow yourself to deep breathe. Take some nice deep breaths in your breaks as well. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, in the tea room, or if you can take a walk outside in your breaks and just have a nice deep breath in. Stuff the germs, exactly. Stuff them, they're not going to come near you. They don't like Carol. and they don't like me either. They don't like any of us, the gem, so we're not going to worry about them because we're going to cultivate a mindset of wellness and well-being. Okay. Okay, guys, unless you have any more comments and questions, I've absolutely loved this hour with you. It has been a very quiet hour because we haven't really chatted. It's mainly been more of an activity, but I'm really glad that you enjoyed it if you have. And just before we go, if you had any takeaways from it, would love to hear it. And before you go, I'd also like to say thank you so much for allowing me to share your space with you today. You guys are all amazing and really worthy of greatness and wonder. So embrace your lives and make a difference and love yourself because each and every one of us has got an amazing power within us to do and be and have absolutely anything we want in life. So to do, be, and have, we actually have to be first and do the things that are required in order to have. So peace, guys. Enjoy your breath work. Love you all very much. And hopefully I'll be back soon and we'll do something different next time. Take care. Please reach out if you have any questions or anything like that. I would love to connect. Thank you, Marie. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, guys, whoever's all there. Have a lovely, lovely Sunday evening. And don't forget to give yourself a hug, okay? Bye now. How do I end this?